Athens and the goddess Athena. Athena is the Olympian goddess of wisdom and war, and was regarded as the patron and protectress of various cities across Greece, particularly the city of Athens. Athena was believed to have been born from the forehead of her father Zeus, who represented the planet Jupiter. Athena was the half-sister of Ares, the Greek god of war, who represented the raw, brutal, violent, and proactive aspects of war, whereas Athena represented a more defensive role of disciplined strategy, only fighting for a just cause. The Greeks regarded Athena with much higher esteem than Ares, favouring those who used cunning and intelligence over Ares's brute strength and bloodlust. You do not know that there formerly dwelt in your land the fairest and noblest race of men which ever lived, and that you and your whole city are descended from a small seed or remnant of them which survived. And this was unknown to you, because for many generations the survivors of that destruction died, leaving no written word. For there was a time, Solon, before the great deluge of all, when the city which now is Athens was first in war, and in every way the best governed of all cities, is said to have performed the noblest deeds and to have had the fairest constitution of any of which tradition tells, under the face of heaven. Athena therefore called the city Athens after herself, and Poseidon in hot anger flooded the Thriasian plain and laid Attica under the sea. Cleito and Poseidon had 10 sons. The island of Atlantis was divided among them. Of the combats on the one side, the city of Athens was reported to have been the leader and to have fought out the war. The combatants on the other side were commanded by the kings of Atlantis. In the days of old, the gods had the whole earth distributed among them by allotment. Now different gods had their allotments in different places, which they set in order. I have before remarked in speaking of the allotments of the gods, and they distributed the whole earth into portions, differing in extent, and made for themselves temples and instituted sacrifices. And Poseidon, receiving for his lot the island of Atlantis, begat children by a mortal woman, and settled them in a part of the island, which I will describe. In this mountain there dwelt one of the earth-born primeval men of the country, whose name was Evenor, and he had a wife named Leucippe, and they had an only daughter who was called Cleito. The maiden had already reached womanhood when her father and mother died. Poseidon fell in love with her and had intercourse with her. He also begat and brought up 5 pairs of twin male children, and divided the island of Atlantis into 10 portions. He gave to the firstborn of the eldest pair his mother's dwelling and the surrounding allotment, which was the largest and best, and made him king over the rest. The others he made princes, and gave them rule over many men and a large territory. Plato's Critias. Deucalion was the son of Prometheus, the last Titan god. Prometheus and Zeus were in conflict. Prometheus, along with the goddess Athena, created man. But when mankind became mean, greedy, and disobedient, Zeus decided to destroy them. Deucalion, in an effort to control the animal-like instinct of mankind, asked Zeus to be merciful. But Zeus had already decided to destroy this version of mankind. Prometheus asked Deucalion and his wife Pyrrha to construct an ark in order to save themselves from the coming flood sent by Zeus. For 9 days and 9 nights it rained and thundered, flooding the land and drowning everyone except for a few who managed to save themselves. After the flood was over, Deucalion and Pyrrha landed on a mount. The myth says that once they realized the extent of the destruction, tears kept pouring from their eyes.